The U.S. Embassy in Haiti said that today, 2 weeks after the earthquake leveled the Haitian capital, U.S. troops pulled a man from the rubble of a collapsed building alive today. But meanwhile, Haiti's government estimates that 1.5 million people in Haiti are in need of food. The United Nations World Food Program is in charge of much of this aid effort. And while the task is daunting and the responsibilities enormous, there are signs today that the aid distribution is still being bungled. NBC's Michelle Kaczynski reported in Haiti today. She witnessed UN peacekeepers using tear gas on Haitians who were gathered at a food distribution site. Yesterday, Robert Moore from our British partner ITN reported a similarly botched effort by the World Food Program after he got access to one of the program's sites.
When the convoy arrived at a camp, the need was obvious. The crowd thirsty, hungry, and increasingly angry as they were asked to complete written forms when many here are illiterate. Eventually, a few sacks of rice were unloaded. Then, inexperienced UN troops decided there might be a crush, and incredibly ordered the food to be reloaded and taken away. The fight was on for the small amount left behind. The prize, a bottle of cooking oil. The UN team left, frustrated themselves, and later promised to us it would improve.
I think with any operation of this size, there are always teething problems at the beginning. Remembering, of course, that the entire humanitarian system here took such a hit from the earthquake. But we are ramping up the operation day by day by day.
But back at the camp, people watched in utter disbelief as the precious food was driven away, back to the warehouse where the journey began.
A spokeswoman for the World Food Program told our producers today that the incident that you saw described there in the ITN report was a, quote, isolated incident. As the World Food Program tries to get its act together and to deal with the immediate responsibility of feeding people today and tomorrow and the next day, the Haitian government met with representatives from about 20 countries and multilateral organizations in Montreal yesterday. It was hosted by the Canadian Prime Minister. They're trying to come up with a master plan for rebuilding Haiti. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton proposed a follow-up meeting at the UN in March to hammer out details.
We're trying to do this in the correct order. You know, sometimes people have pledging conferences and pledge money. They don't have any idea what they're going to do with it. We actually think it's a novel idea to do the needs assessment first, and then the planning, and then the pledging.
Pretty much everyone agrees that rebuilding Haiti is going to take at least a decade and a whole lot of international help. But even as the ability to provide immediate aid in Haiti is uncertain, the desire to help is as strong as ever. The Hope for Haiti Now telethon ran on more than 40 TV channels, including this one. It was a rousing success. It was hosted by Wyclef Jean and George Clooney. The event leveraged the famousness of many, many famous people to get 83 million people around the world to tune in live. It was streamed online 1.9 million times. Some people in Haiti were even able to pick it up on a radio station based in Port-au-Prince. Since airing on Friday night, I am here to tell you that the telethon has raised a total thus far of $61 million. In addition, the benefit album composed of the musical performances from that night is currently the #1 iTunes album in 18 countries. Hope for Haiti Now will be accepting donations for the next 6 months. If you'd like to contribute, we've got the link at our website, rachel.msnbc.com. We'll be right back.